Hola Bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel, and this is Al, one of my spirit guides. Welcome to episode 7 of season 8. How are you guys doing? Blessed full moon in Capricorn. It's a super moon. And it explains why I was awake all night yesterday. Oh my god. Let's ease into this, and definitely this new energy in general, I can already tell, is one of temperance and more ease and more balance. Why? Because we have released a lot of fears, a lot of resistance, and probably a lot of karmic depth as well as ancestral healing. I've come out of my resting mode, and I'm sure it was a lot of purging on a cellular level. So if your body asks you to rest, listen to it, even if it's inconvenient, even if you think you don't have time. At the end of the day, resting not only restores and rejuvenates our system, but also raises our vibration. It's like a double whammy on many levels. Listen to your body. A time of temperance, a time of balance, and God, it's something to strive for. Balance, yin yang, doing and being, coming out of this excessive drive to overachieve, to overdo, out of a simple old or default programming that we've inherited by the system. This balance of doing and being is necessary for a sustainable way of living. And it's something we need to relearn. It's definitely something I'm relearning. It takes a lot of trust in your own body, in your own being, and in life. Trusting that it's okay to rest. It's okay to regroup. It's okay to say no. It's okay to draw boundaries. It's okay to reflect and go inside and reorient ourselves. If we can't give to ourselves, we just deplete ourselves, we run on exhaustion. And if you look closely and reflect on the concept, hermetic concept, as within, so without, are you surprised that the outer resources, the resources of the planet, are being depleted? Let's look at our own lives, look at your own body, your own system. Are you resourcing yourself, or are you depleting your own resources? I often tell you that I don't really watch the news anymore, and not because I want to ignore what's going on, but primarily because I want to deal with myself first. I know that whatever's going on within me will play out in the world. Because whether we like it or not, consciously or unconsciously, we impact the collective. And the more shadow integration, the more shadow work we can do on a personal level, the less we will project the shadow outward, the less finger pointing there will be. So shadow work, shadow integration has a lot to do with taking accountability for our own energy, for our own projection output, and for resourcing ourselves. I love the word resource. It's coming back to a connection with ourselves and with Source, God, the universe, the higher power, especially in these times of chaos. The times of chaos feed on our own lower vibrations of anger, resentment, fear. If we can disconnect from what's going on out there and reconnect with ourselves and really fuel up our own inner tank, going directly to source, then we can generate a different kind of frequency, a different kind of energy output. And that, believe it or not, has a huge impact on our immediate environment and on the collective, because we are all connected. If we can't give to ourselves, how can we really give to others? If we give to others from a constant self-denial, self-depletion, self-loathing, then we're not giving authentically. We're probably giving in order to get something in a manipulative way from another person. It's not from a resourced and independent way of being that fosters interconnectedness. And that is really what this new paradigm, the new earth, is about. Fifth dimension. I really want to talk about this today. The new earth, the new paradigm is built on collaboration, working together as individuated whole being. Whole meaning, I like to look at it as a palabra compuesta, a composite word of healthy and whole is being wealthy. Holy meaning whole, meaning healed. The biggest work we can do at the moment is to work on ourselves and our own inner healing. Because collaboration, interdependent collaboration, can really only take place once we have freed up energy in our own system that was locked in by trauma and by our own wounding. When we heal, that energy is released. We reconnect with source. We have more trust. We have more confidence. Confidence also meaning with faith, have more faith. We're more open to receive divine guidance, inspiration, act from the spirit and from the soul. And especially we're more connected to our hearts. Because healing requires us to go back into our heart. Our heart is a portal of energy. It's a portal that connects us with the divine and with all souls. It's not a coincidence that even Jesus talks about the sacred heart of Jesus. You know, if you look at one of the images of Jesus, he kind of opens his cape and there's this burning heart and a crown on it. When we act from the heart, we realize that we're all connected. When we heal, we also, as a consequence, discover our own gifts. Because we learn to value ourselves again in what we bring to the table. In my own healing journey, I had to isolate myself for quite some time and really go inwards and go back to basics, go back to the foundation. What brings me joy? As we go back into our heart and heal, and realize that we're all connected, it's only natural that we ask ourselves, how can I contribute? What can I give? How can I serve with who I am and with my talents and gifts? Because we come to understand that the collective is only as healthy as the individual. It's when we believe that we're separate, that we isolate ourselves and only take, thinking that there's not enough and that everyone's out there to get me. When we come to understand that we're all in this together, that all of this chaos, this collapsing of all systems, is necessary for a new way of being to arise. And that new way of being requires us to contribute again and to collaborate. So it's only natural that we look inwards and ask ourselves, what can I give? Who am I actually? underneath all of these masks and these layers of persona that I had to put on so as to be accepted in the 3D matrix. Because the 3D matrix required us, was feeding on us feeling not enough, unworthy, inferior. It was this state of being absolutely self-conscious. And self-conscious is not the same as self-aware. The new paradigm is based on us being able to give and to receive. Because the fifth dimension, the new earth, the new paradigm requires us to understand that this is a closed system. The planet is a closed system. We are interconnected. And that we're weaving this tapestry of humanity together. Each thread is important. Each keynote is important. And you are one of the keynotes. You are one of the threads. With a unique makeup, with a unique constellation, with a unique being. And the fabric is incomplete if you don't play your part. If your gifts are not being used and offered. Because somebody out there needs your gifts. And when we talk about scarcity mentality, that there's not enough out there, it's probably because we ourselves are not contributing, are not giving of our own abundance. And the contribution, the co-creation, the sharing of abundance can really only take place once we have come back home to ourselves, reconnected. I've encouraged you in past episodes to look for support. Because you might think, Magic Mail, I have no idea what my gifts are. Even if you don't know, I'd be super curious. It's like something to discover. And if you feel that you can't discover it on your own, then get the support you need. Get a therapist, get a coach, get some healing. There's so many modalities out there. I want to share with you a little bit how I have experienced coaching to be very useful for me. I mean, in my healing journey, I've had a bit of everything. First of all, to get me out of the bedridden depression and suicidal ideation, I had to really take antidepressants to even get me functioning again. And for me to be able to work on myself. Once I was functional again, I received healing from a friend who does Yin Shin Jitsu. It's a Japanese healing modality. I got acupuncture. I meditated. I rested. I did long walks in nature every day. I listened to my body. I started dream analysis. I joined the alchemist movement. I've talked to you about this, the sacred economy movement. And I received coaching. So, coaching can be useful to help you see your own highest potential. in my coaching containers, I only coach people, souls who resonate with me, who are eager and willing to do the work and change. Because if we think that somebody out there is going to rescue us or heal us, we disempower ourselves. So it's essential that if you want to heal, you got to be willing to do the work. Because at the foundation of healing and at the goal of healing is your own empowerment. The goal of healing is for you to realize that you are a sovereign spiritual being, that you can trust yourself. So, since I'm a coach, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I can help you. I can help you find the bridge and build that bridge back to your intuition, your joy, and your deepest fulfillment. Because in my own experience, depression has a lot of factors. I don't want to make a blanket statement, but one of the contributing factors to my depression was definitely a severance to my own intuition that's originated in childhood, because I had a lot of enmeshment and I didn't have boundaries as a child. I didn't know where I, as a self, began and ended and where somebody else started. So I was constantly trespassed emotionally. And I didn't understand my emotions, nor my feelings, nor my intuition. I was very much in my head. So coming back into the body, learning how to trust that soft voice of our intuition that speaks through our body and through insights and through nudges is something that we need to heal. Joy is important because we're not meant to come here only to suffer. We're actually meant to experience joy. And joy is very much linked to being connected to ourselves, to coming back home to ourselves, and to reconnect with our gifts and to use them and share them. That is a big part of what makes a meaningful, a fulfilled, a purposeful, and a joyful life, to connect with your gifts and to share them. I can help you, teach you to self-regulate, to self-soothe yourself from activated emotions such as fear, stress, anger, and to come back to a neutral or even higher vibration. Because we cannot think rationally when we are in a highly activated state and our limbic brain is switched on to fight, flight, and freeze. To self-regulate is essential. It's an essential tool in our spiritual and first aid kit. Because when we act out of a non-regulated state, you yourself, I'm sure you've experienced that, when you act out of anger, when you react out of anger, when you react out of fear, out of stress, we are not really fully in our power. There's a difference between control and power. Control is when we want to, it's usually fear-based, when you need to know the answer, when you need to manipulate, when you need to know the outcome. It's fear-based. When we come from our power, it means we're connected to our trust. We trust the universe, and we can let go of the outcome. So to act from an empowered state requires us to be at least neutral emotionally and not highly activated. So knowing to know how to soothe yourself is invaluable. Invaluable. I'm a high frequency container that can activate your latent frequency of joy. Guys, I make it a point to tend to my own joy, to fill my own cup first, and to anchor my coaching container in that frequency. So not only do I see your highest potential, but I also bring in my best energy to potentially activate your own joy and to help you come up to that frequency. For me, that's very important. I can help you distill the next smallest step to manifest your heart's desires in your dream life. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed. We want to change and we're like, oh my God, I don't know where to start. It seems like this huge mountain we want to move. But if we can take it down to just back to the present moment and the next smallest step, we're more able to persevere in the change we want to make because it's doable. It's not this overwhelming thing. And this whole healing journey, we need patience and small, doable steps, daily steps that don't overload us again or exhaust us again. And sometimes we can't see for ourselves what this next step can be, so I can help you with that. I can help you guide you back to your own heart with visualization, with meditations. A lot of the healing work obviously has to do with you doing the work, sometimes alone, but to have someone there to support you and to guide you is so valuable in my own experience. I was going to say it's a fast track, not really a fast track, but let's say you have somebody who is your cheerleader. It's just more fun to know that you have someone there who's supporting you, who is next to you, cheering you on and supporting you, so that you no longer feel like you're only doing it on your own. I feel that's very important. I can help you discern the different aspects and voices that are operating within your psyche. We are an ecosystem of voices, of energies, of influences. We're not born tabula rasa. So from past lives, we carry things over from our families, from our DNA, from our ancestors. There's stuff to work through in this lifetime and to release and heal. And sometimes it's difficult to discern who is talking. Is it me, or is it actually my inner critic? Or is it the teacher I had in 7th grade who traumatized me and I still hear his voice every time I make a mistake and he beats me up inside? Or is it my mother's voice, the expectations of my family? It's helpful to have someone who can help you discern the voice of your higher self, of your heart, and the voices of the other members of your psychic ecosystem. I can help you with that. I can help you visualize your dream life. As kids, we daydream so much and we play, what is it? Act as if. You just act out. Whether you want to be a dancer or a fireman, you just pretend you are that. And then as adults, we snap into our ego mode and we lose so much of this dream capacity. I also want to highlight that this healing journey is not forever. There's a certain point where we've done enough work where we can then thrive and co-create and spread our magic. And I'm not saying that you're not doing this before that point, but again, it has to do with vibration. We're able to manifest our dream life better when we have all of our energy in one place and we're not fragmented, when our consciousness is not split when our soul is not fragmented onto different timelines. So to have someone to help you visualize, learn to dream again. What if one day, how would it be if I could? In my dream life, I would. It's fun and healing to look ahead again. And by looking ahead, I don't mean live for the future, but just instead of looking into the past and what has gone wrong and what mistakes we've made, to go beyond that and look again the other direction into where you want to go. And bring that visualization into the present moment by taking the next smallest step in that direction. I can help you with that. I can be a safe space within which to allow, work through, explore your perhaps repressed emotions so that they can come up and so that you can release them. Feel them and release them. I'm a deep listener, believe it or not. And it's up to you. It's a collaboration. Ideally, you have a coach, and I strive to be like that works with you in tandem with your own needs, where there is reciprocity, where we are eye to eye. I'm not somehow better or don't put me on a pedestal. We will work eye on eye. Why am I saying that? Yeah, and often I had that experience with my brother once where all he needed actually was somebody to really be present and listen. So he worked through his own situation by talking to me about it and releasing the emotions. And I was just a witness. I didn't say much. I just held the space. And to be witnessed is healing. At some point, we got to be our own witness to that. But to have somebody support you in that in the beginning or when you need it is healing. I can help you explore and integrate your fears, and we've talked about this a lot. Not to override, not to bulldoze, not to repress our fears, not to deny them, but to work with them, to listen to them, and then to work around them and say, hey, okay, this is my fear. How about my soul? How about my heart? How about my gut? It's about learning or giving you the tools so that you can make an empowered choice and are not coerced or driven by just the fear. I can assist you in, I can't even read my own writing, in sifting through and soothing your own emotions. I can help you connect with your inner wise advocate, your divine feminine, your divine masculine aspects, your guardian angels. I can help you release feelings of guilt, resentment, and powerlessness. I can help you spot emotional triggers and help you rewire your brain towards a preferred response. Guys, the beautiful possibility of our times is the discovery of neuroscience that our brain is so malleable. We are not doomed to be traumatized forever. We're not doomed to replay our traumatic response forever. We can work with our brain and rewire and build new neural networks. It's so exciting, to say the least. I can help you I already said that. I can help you create new neural pathways by teaching you techniques that help you create and entrench new neural pathways, because the new neural pathways need to be, just imagine like building a new railway track. You gotta go around several times, or maybe that's a wrong analogy. Let's say you driving home in a new way. The old way, you can drive on autopilot because you've driven it like a gazillion times. But if you drive a new way, you need to first pay attention, look out, and drive a few times for you to remember. It's the same with our brain. The more we practice the new response, the new emotions, the new state of being, the deeper the neural connections are. I mean, basically, it comes down to, gosh, I forgot the saying. Something like fire together and wire together. I had a blank moment then. It's all about practice. It's all about patience. And it's all about repeating a desired response rather than acting or reacting from our emotional default trigger response. So to do all of that, these are all aspects of healing. To do that on your own is tough. It's tough. So if you resonate with me, my messages in general, what I have to share, then contact me for coaching. If not, find someone who can teach you how to empower yourself, who guides you back home to yourself. We don't need to put someone on a pedestal and to follow again. We need to learn how to follow our own guidance, our own inner authority. And we can only do that if we learn how to trust ourselves again. And before we can trust ourselves again, we probably need to release a lot of gunk. So if you don't resonate with me, go find someone. I insist on this because as long as we're not healed, we are more likely to be stuck in the 3D matrix that is characterized by overconsumption, by projecting our own shadows outward and contributing to a mass collective shadow that is destructive. If we don't heal, we cannot access our own joy. And we are less likely to access our own gifts and share them from a joyful state of being. When we're not healed, we're less likely to be able to contribute from our own inner resource state and abundance, meaning we're probably regurgitating the paradigm of lack and of self-loathing and of disempowerment. It's important that we heal. It's important that we do the work. It's important that we find a support that we resonate with, because the planet is ascending, 5D consciousness is anchoring into the earth, more of us are waking up, and the sooner we do it together, the better. Because if you're healed and you're sharing your gifts, it's good for me. Because at the end of the day, we're all interconnected. We don't play zero-sum games anymore, where there's one winner and a lot of losers. Giving and receiving will be a flow state that is balanced and doesn't operate on depletion. And by depletion, I don't only mean our own inner depletion, but the depletion of the planet's resources and other species. So I insist on you doing the healing work for your highest good and for the highest good of everyone. When you share your gifts, when you're healed and are able to share your gifts and contribute from your own abundance, the world is a more abundant place. The world will be a more colorful place, a more creative place, a more just place, a more beautiful place, a more magical place, a more loving place. And isn't it time to write a new story Isn't it time to believe in something different? Isn't it time to visualize a different way of being? Because it's obvious that the old way of doing things is not working anymore. The universe is not allowing us to carpet sweep, is not allowing us to self-deceive, is not allowing us to disempower ourselves anymore. Because as long as we operate from that state of being, things will go wrong. The universe will put roadblocks in your path. Things will flow again when we're more aligned with ourselves and with the divine will, higher power. It's a beautiful transition that we're going through, one of a kind. The entire universe is watching as we reclaim our powers, as we heal, as we come back into our spiritual sovereignty. So that was my spiel on giving and receiving in the new paradigm, on the importance of healing. And I shared with you how I can help you as a coach. I encourage you, I insist, I highlight you to do the work. If you're interested in my coaching, you've got the details in the description box below. Email me. Even if you have answers, even if you have questions and answers, okay? Oh, and this, you're probably wondering, what's this image here? This is a print that I'm selling because you might know that I'm a visual artist too, and this is one of my beautiful high definition prints of a painting I made of the sun conures, African species. They're so sweet. They're basically made for life. It's like a love couple. And the original is painted on a piece of driftwood because I'm half Filipina. In the Philippines, we love driftwood. And because so many people wanted that piece got sold, but I made beautiful high definition prints like this one. So if you're interested, email me. Okay? See, this is one of my gifts. And it's my responsibility to share my gifts with the world. And I'm sure, again, that you have at least one or two, probably lots more that you haven't discovered yet. So let's be excited about that. Be curious about your gifts. Well, I'll leave it at that, guys. I've said everything I want to say on this topic. I'm going to pull some cards for you in the next episode. Vale? Email me for coaching. It's important. And now you know why. Okay? Your highest good of everyone. Because we are all connected. Venga. Aulen guy. My tongue is a bit twisted. Sending you lots of love. I appreciate every one of you. You know that. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. It helps my channel grow. And thank you also, guys, for donating to my channel. It is one way for you to show that you appreciate what I'm doing, how I'm sharing my message, and yeah, for offering my gift. So if you're inclined to give back and support Mel's Magic Official, I have the PayPal link of my PayPal in the description box below. And you can also buy me coffee on coffee.com. But so, Aulen I've got your back. Stay blessed and see you super soon for episode 8 coming right after this one. Ciao, bandidos.